guess we'll get into this question. Okay, so our question today actually comes from Candace, and Candace wants to know, why do we specifically give a 10% tithe? Where does the number come from?
So that comes from all the way back in the Old Testament, book of Genesis. You have Abraham. Abraham does this incredible deal where he goes and rescues some people from some bad guys, basically, is the short version there. And it's something that only God could have done. So what Abraham knew, it wasn't him. And so after the battle and after everything's over, a guy shows up named Melchizedek, which we've come to understand is probably Jesus. Before he comes to earth as Jesus, it's probably God the Son. And Abraham, that is, gives Melchizedek a tithe of all. And the word tithe means 10%. And so that is where we get that we are giving 10%, because the word tithe means 10%. But I would also add that there's nowhere in the Bible that says that you have to give 10%. That is a tradition that is based off of that account that Abraham gave a tithe, a tenth. And so when you fast forward to the New Testament, there's a great encounter between Jesus and this widow. And the widow gives, I think it's 2 mites. And we all remember that story and how Jesus praised her because she gave everything that she had, even though it was very little. And so she gave a 100% tithe. And what we kind of learn in the New Testament, not only from her, but from also many of the other disciples who would sell everything they have and give it to the church and things like that, that tithing is something that is rooted in worship, and that it is something, we unfortunately always think about tithing as something that's functional, that we have to keep the lights on and we have to make sure the bill's paid and all those things. And that's really not it. That's just a happy side effect of tithing. Tithing is an act of worship. And what you're saying when you tithe is I'm submitting to God in every area of my life, even with my money. And my God is worth more to me than my money is, and I'm going to show him that by sacrificing my money. And so it's the modern version, almost, the New Testament version of sacrificing an animal in a way, or burning incense as you're giving God a piece of your earnings, giving him your first fruits. And it doesn't have to be 10%. Matter of fact, I would say probably for most of us needs to be more than 10%. And the reason I say that is the New Testament model is a model of sacrifice. It's a model of self-sacrifice. And it should cost you something to offer something to God. You remember the account of King David. He goes to buy that piece of land so that he could build the temple, and the man that owns the land tells him, well, you can just have the land, I'll give it to you for free because you're the king. And King David says, I will give God nothing that I receive for free. He says, if I'm going to give God something, it's going to cost me something. It's going to have to be, David pays for that. And that's what tithing ought to be. It ought to be sacrificial. And so for many people, especially in the U.S., 10% is not sacrificial at all. And so for some people it is. For some people 10% is sacrificial. But maybe for you that should be 12%. Maybe it should be 13%. Maybe it should be 15%. At what point does it become sacrifice? And that's probably where you need to be on your tithing. So there it is. That's where we get the number, 10%.
So the word tithe means a tenth. But today in modern language, we kind of use it interchangeably, just meaning offering.
Offering, yeah.
Even though it originally means tenth, and that may be what the word literally means, we use it as any offering that you give, whether it's 10, 20, 30%. If you want more detailed answers, comment on the video and say, hey, we want longer videos. We can go back over some of these questions and do a 20, 30 minute more in-depth look at some of these questions if that's what y'all want. Let us know down below if y'all want something like that, or if you're any more questions you have, please let us know. Bye.